Hello, everyone, and welcome to our next episode of Red Couch Talk. Your host, TINAMARIE Moreno, and I am looking forward to introducing our next guest, Linda Gandara. Linda, do you mind joining us?
Hi, Tina. It's a pleasure
Hi.
being here with you today. I'm excited for this today.
I know we've been looking forward to this, but before we get started, I want to go ahead and bring on our other sisters so they could join us.
Yes.
Jennifer, Maria, and Olivia.
Hi, you guys.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah.
Very well.
Yeah.
How's everybody today?
Good.
I'm feeling great. How about all of you?
How are you doing? Are you ready?
I think I am a little bit nervous, but we're here. Let's do this.
You got this.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Did you all enjoy your Thanksgiving weekend?
Yes, we did.
It's nice and restful, right?
A little different, but it was good. You make the best out of it.
Yeah, that's all we could do.
It wasn't
Okay.
long enough. We needed another week.
It's never long enough. It's always hard to come back.
Yes, we need more time.
Yes,
I
we do.
agree.
Yeah.
All right, Linda. So are you ready?
I think I am.
Good, good. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started with asking if, your name. You can tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, my name is Linda Gandara, as all of you guys know. I was raised in El Monte, California, in the hood, like Tina Marie says.
El Monte.
Yeah. So I come from, my parents are Mexican, illegal parents, of course. We come from I can say a working class family. You know, that's how we grew up. It wasn't an easy way of growing up, but you know, our parents always did the best to provide for us everything we needed. My dad's from Zacatecas, my mom's from Jalisco. Very proud of where I come from, and you know, the roots behind me. So yeah, I was raised in Almani most of my life. Now I live in South Almani, so I'm only a few blocks away. So I'm still in the hood.
So, were you born out here as well, or
I
are
was
you?
born here. I was born in Los Angeles. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. So, growing up, how difficult was it? If you could share a little bit about that.
You know, now that I look back, I see that we didn't have a lot of opportunities, you know, but my parents always made the best for us, always provided enough for us. So at that time, we really didn't see, you know, we didn't have enough money, or we didn't have, you know, name brand clothes. Now that I think about it, now that I'm older, I'm like, wow, you know, my parents would buy us shoes twice a year, you know, and they better last the whole year because
Right?
you had to wait till the next time. And when I think about it, I'm like, I never seen it that way. We were never raised thinking that, oh, there's no food on the table. We never knew if our parents made enough money or not. You know, my mom, I do remember, since I could remember, she was in the sewing industry. She sewed, and I'm like, why is my mom leaving so early to work? You know, she would leave at 4 in the morning, get home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and that was something normal for us. My dad, as long as I can remember, he's been doing leather crafting at home. So he does like saddles for horses, belts, all kinds of leather stuff, and up until this day. So he worked from home. My mom was always, you know, sewing or was sewing at home, and we would have to help her. But you know, I know they struggled, but there was never a time where we said, "Oh, we don't have, you know, clothes to dress or food on the table." You know, they always made it work. Yeah, and I think now that I'm older is when I look back and I see the reality of it. You know, it's like we didn't have the money. You know, we never went to a sit down restaurant. I didn't know what that was until I was older. And now the only restaurant my dad would take us to was IHOP, because we would go to church and he knew people there because that was his first job when he first came to Mexico. So he would tell us, you know, like, oh, we're going to go with so-and-so, that his friend. And that was where we would go after church on Sunday, was IHOP all the time. And that was the only restaurant that we knew of, you know. So other than the hamburgers down the street when they were on sale, you know,
Right.
it was always, home cooked meals. I grew up in apartments, and there was like 3 units there. It wasn't a very big complex, and we grew up like a family. Everybody looked out after each other. But yeah, that's where we came from, And my dad came from Mexico with nobody here. He took that opportunity at the age of 16 to cross the border and make a living here for a better opportunity. Same thing for my mother. But they made the best, for us, and made sure we were all taken care of.
Definitely different times that we grew up on, because I remember in my experience as well, we never felt like there was anything missing. And going out on the weekend after church or something, that was like a special getaway because the whole family went out, because during the week everybody was busy working, like you said. So we didn't know any better until.
Yeah, we didn't know any better. And like now it's a little bit different, like I remember it's like, okay, it's time to go to school. It was my responsibility to get up at whatever time and get myself to elementary or get myself to middle school, get myself to high school, get my work done. My parents didn't teach it. I had to figure everything out on my own, and I think, it's definitely different than what it is. We had the responsibility and we had to take care of our things and get them done, not, expect for them to help us with anything.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And I know that you said you're talking about growing up. How many siblings are there?
I have a sister, and I have stepbrothers that I'm close to. So at home we were always two. It was my sister and myself. So to me, it's like, we bonded, we grew up. I mean, it was just her and I, and then I have my stepbrothers, which are older than me. Now that we're older, we get along, and we share family time. They come over, I go over to their house. But it's the Brady Bunch. That's what I call it. But I love our siblings.
Yeah. So share a little bit of that with me, if you don't mind, because I know for many years it was just me and one brother, and then my mother, they didn't get married, but they lived together. She had a new family with them. So although I love my brothers all the same, there is a little bit of a difference, right? So give us your input on that.
There is a little bit of a difference. I grew up, with my sister. I love my sister to the death. We've been together through it all. Bad times, good times. We're always there for each other. So it's only two girls. I am the baby of the family.
No.
So, it was just, she's older than me, so it was only her and I. And up until this day, I feel like our bond is just great. And it's always been like that. So then my brothers. They came from Mexico, and we met each other, and it was different, and it is different, and it's like, okay, it's kind of weird. It's like, how do I? So finally, we got a little older. One of my brothers and I sat down and we talked about it. We're like, you know what? Let's not make it awkward. Whatever situation it is, differences our parents had, so we agreed, we said, we love each other. We shouldn't, we're family, we're blood. So we should fight for each other. And I think as you get older, you start to process that, and you get a different feeling about things, and around you, and honestly, since they became part of my life, they've been great to me. Same, I love my brothers, and I feel the same. I feel that they feel the same towards me. But yeah, at the beginning it was definitely, I was younger. I was only like 18. So it was, you're going through that age, and it's like, it's a little different, but we managed to, talk it through. And now our bond is great with my brothers as well.
That's awesome. That's really good. So years later, you find yourself married with children and also of your own, and also a stepdaughter. So how is that different now that you're a mother?
Oh God, life changes drastically. I remember when I was young, my mom would always say, "Lo vas a pagar con tus hijos." You're gonna
pay for it.
Like, no, I'm not. You're such a good kid. So now it's like, oh Lord, yeah. I got married very young. I had my first son at 22, and then I had my second son at 24, and then 10 years later, boom comes the baby. Now he's 2. Turn it all over.
And he's so adorable.
Yeah, he's a handful. My energy was like, not there, but you know, he's good. The older boys help me. And when I met my husband, he was in a prior marriage, so he brought his kids along. My stepdaughter is the one that she's been with me since she was 8. She's 23 now, and that's the girl that I always wanted and I never had, you know. So she's like, we're very close. It was different.
I've seen that special bond between you both. It's great.
Yeah. Since the day I met her, it was different. You know, I made it clear I'm not your mom, you know, but I'm here for you for whatever you need. To this day, I'm here to support her, you know, and do what she loves to do. And I just tell her, you know, keep on going, pushing her. You know, she's definitely she's more than just a stepdaughter to me, you know, and she knows that. But it was definitely hard, you know. You bring on a child that you have to raise, you know, and I'm over 20 years old, and what do I do with this 8-year-old? You know, like we're trying to figure it out together, and it was a struggle. But you know, throughout the time, I said, you know, like, let's work it out. They didn't hand me, you know, your instructions. You know, I gotta figure it out, and I just want the best for you. And honestly, since day one, it was like, it's the best what I want for her. You know, it's you know what's going to help her in life. It wasn't about me. It was about her. You know, she was already missing somebody in her life, and I kind of had to fill in that hole, but I really didn't, you know, but I had to be there for her for school. Like I was her parent going to conferences, you know, and I was doing all of that. So by the time I had my kids, I had already yeah. But she allowed me to be part of her life since day one, and I think that made it a lot easier. You know,
and I love how you always said that she allowed me to be in her life.
Exactly. Because I've seen it with others, you know, and it's like, she's not my mom, you know, like, tell me what to do. And of course, she went through her stages like we all do when we're young, you know, but ultimately, you know, at the end of whatever the situation was, she understood and she knew, you know. And I always talk to her with the truth, with a pure heart, you know, like, this is the best for you. I'm looking out for you. I'm not doing you anything wrong. But, you know, like I told her, and I've always said, like you just said, you know, if she chose me to be part of her life, if she didn't want to, I wouldn't be here with her, you know, and I really appreciate that. And I love her to death. But it was a little challenging, you know, not having any kids of my own and having to raise someone that wasn't mine. But it all worked out. You know, I feel like when you do things with a pure heart at the end, you know, like people realize that, you know, you're doing what's correct.
Yeah, and it shows when you guys are together. It shows.
Thank
you. So, your passion for horses. Where did that come from?
I'm the biggest Mexican American you can meet out there, I guess. Since I was a kid, you know, it was different. Like, it was all about the Mexican culture. Like, my dad was always into making horse saddles, you know, and my dad comes from the ranch. He doesn't come from the city or the web. Hi, Maria.
Hi, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm so sorry, but the sound, Linda, I don't know if it's you, but it's like we hear every word, kind of.
Oh. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Step away from your mic and then maybe turn it down just a little bit because it's really staticky.
Oh. Let me see if I could work this. I'm far away from my computer, so let me see.
Oh, we have a Matthew Rodriguez that just said he loves it. Thank you, cousin.
Can you guys hear me?
There we go. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I have AirPods on now.
I'm glad you brought that because I couldn't hear it on my end. It sounded great.
That's it. I didn't have a question or anything. I just.
We're good. Let's continue.
Okay. So we were talking about your passion for horses.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's where we left off. Like I said, yeah, it was all about, you know, oh, we're going to Mexico. Since I was a kid, that was our vacation. That was our family vacation. You know, it was never about the beach or anything. It's like, we're going to, you know, the pueblo, we're going to the ranch. And that's how I grew up. So as I was here and I was going through like high school, it was like, oh, there comes, the ranch girl, or there comes, the horse girl. So
Yeah.
it was all Spanish music. I was the weird one out of the crowd because I was all into Spanish music. I was all into these rodeos. So it was something as I was growing up. My dad doing horse saddles. We always had people over with, I got to fix the saddles. All these horse people were over. So it was kind of in me, we grew up with it. And so as I got older, then I got married. My husband happened to be a charro. He was in a charro. So that's how we
So
got
for
married.
those that don't know what charro is, can you explain what that is?
Charreria is our traditional Mexican sport in Mexico. Horse riding competitions, they drop bulls. It's similar to American rodeo, but not, I guess I could leave it short, but it's Mexican rodeo, and it has to do with competition. There's teams and there's finals, and then you go to Mexico for finals. So it was something that once I met him, I'm like, I scored, because I love this. So we did it for years. Every Sunday or Saturday, it was competition weekend, and we were there hauling the horses. I was a driver hauling the horses to the competitions, and just being there for
trailer.
Big old trailer, 22-foot trailer.
Wow.
So it was great. And when my daughter, she started riding at that age. She started doing escaramuza. It's the women part of charreria, and it's competition. It's kind of like a drill that we have to do, but it all comes down to points and distances and whatnot. So she was into. She was 8. She's 23 now, still doing that. And I love it. And it's a traditional sport from Mexico, like I mentioned. There's a lot of culture in it. People ask me, I want to go, I want to see it, and it's like, yeah, we're open, let's do it. We travel all over California, especially with my daughter. It's like, oh, competition's up north. Well, here we go, and the last
because she's a strong competitor, right?
Yeah, she's a very strong competitor, and not to mention she's a very good rider. We give her any horse, and it's in her.
Nice.
So it's nice to go out there and see her, very, very proud of what they do, of what she does. I was hoping, my boys would eventually get into that, but when they started getting a little bit older, we got them kind of into baseball, other sports, so they went that way. So hopefully someday when they get older, they start, doing that as well. But for now, it's my daughter. We go. The team she was in, she's been in it for many, many years. And the last few years, they were able to make it to finals to Mexico. So they go do championships over there. We've been to different states. So it's a great experience overall. So for people who do understand it, they know where I'm coming from with this, but it's definitely something that we're proud of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm sorry, Olivia, were you going to ask something?
Yeah, I was going to ask, with all this competition and so forth, how do you get real estate? How do you balance all that out? Being a mom, being married, doing the rodeos, doing all this competition.
It's crazy. I don't have any more hair. People say, "Oh my God, you're always on vacation." I love to travel, but I call it work travel, because for the most part, it's like, we're going on vacation. Wait, don't forget my computer. We got to take the computer. Make sure there's internet at the hotel, or I can't work, or I can't go. So for the most part, thanks to technology, I'm able to work from wherever I'm at, and I have somebody to back me up here, so if I'm out of the country, out of state, there's always somebody to help me out. But for the most part, it's, the computer, it's, the phone, wherever I'm at. So I don't have trouble with that. But whether it's baseball games at the park, whether it's in the middle of a competition, I managed to get that done, and not let my clients down, which is the most important thing, So I don't take a break. Sometimes I think I do, but I don't. It's not really a break.
You're just going.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I gotta go to the hotel. I'll be back in an hour. I gotta answer this email or make this call. So it gets a little complicated. I run like a chicken without a head, but it gets done. I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest with you.
There's been times that she's on vacation, Olivia, and she's calling. I'm like, "Are you not on vacation?" Like, oh my God, we got it.
Yeah, I think
But
our
this,
viewers were
yeah.
probably thinking, how is she doing all this and be still on top of real estate, which is another way, that our real estate being a real estate agent is so flexible for those individuals, especially mothers and so forth, to join our team as well.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why
I felt really short down.
That's one of the reasons why I decided to join real estate. I really didn't know what I was in it for. I did know that I wanted that flexibility. My kids were getting older. I needed more time. Competition was, this weekend, and we had to leave since Thursday. And on a 9 to 5 job, I couldn't ask for so many days off.
Right.
So the boys, they had parent conference and then they got sick, and I didn't like to say, hey, I gotta go, when I was at work. That's just not me. So I said, I need to do something different. The boys were still little. I decided to open a daycare. And I'm like, okay, I'll do this. It went great. I had maybe 12 kids at one point, and then my oldest started preschool, and that didn't work out because I had to take him to preschool. My husband worked, so he wasn't here to take him, anywhere. So I had to, juggle those things that I had to do. So I said, okay, I think I'm gonna do real estate. So as I was doing the preschool at home, I decided, I need to start going into these books when I have time. So I did the real estate, I passed my test, and I was like, so now what? And luckily I had some friends that were already in real estate, and they offered, they're like, hey, tag along, so I'm like, okay. So I would tag along and, learn from them and see what they were doing. And I'm like, okay, I think I want to do this. And then I went with my first brokerage. And when I started doing that, that's when I realized, okay, I have the flexibility I'm looking for. But most importantly, I'm actually enjoying what I do, like helping people, to see them with that satisfaction of I have a new home, my first home, something that they never thought they would have. So it kind of went from, the flexibility part of the job was a plus, but I think I have more satisfaction on helping, my people.
Yeah, and that's where your passion came from, because you wanted to give back to your people, right?
Correct. Yes. And I started that way because I remember we bought our house 2006, right before the market crashed. And it was horrible. I had a horrible real estate agent experience, and I'm like, oh my God. So then a few years later, we were losing our house because, we had the loan with the, 2 loans and fluctuating interest rate, where we originally had a 3%, and then 3 years later it was like 5%, 7%. So our payment was something we couldn't afford anymore. So with that being said, we were losing our house. We had a notice in our door. It's time for you guys to leave. You guys have 10 days. And it's like, what the heck? But through this process, I had gone through people trying to modify my loans. That didn't work. So at the end, I was stuck. 10 more days, nothing got done. People took my money, and I was like, what am I going to do? I got on the phone. I spoke to the banks daily. And I did the modification myself. So then I'm like, okay, wait, if I could save my house, I could help many others save theirs,
Right.
So I did that, and then it still took me a few years to jump on the boat for this, to do real estate. But ultimately, like I said, like now it's a very great satisfaction to be able to help others, and especially our community. I feel like our community, especially my parents' generation, is not educated to do the purchase. You literally have to hold their hand. And even my generation, because our parents don't know any better. They don't teach us. We kind of have to be open-minded and go out and learn on our own. So I feel like my parents' generation, my generation, like we need education, and we need to know what the process is. It's not just, hey, come, let's buy a house. Do you have money? Let's do it, and that's it. And the agent disappears. It's that thing. My thing is, let's create a relationship, and continue on, and thankfully that's how my business has continued. It's all referrals, people referring me out, from past clients still doing business with me. So that's how I've kept it with them, and it's worked out. I love what I do.
And how long you been in the real estate industry?
I've been in the real estate industry a little bit over 8 years now. Yeah, a little bit over 8 years. And it's just growing. Every year it gets better and better.
It does. So this past year, obviously, we'll get to the questions. This year, with COVID, everybody is hurting and saying there's not enough business, but yet you are kicking butt.
Oh my God.
So how do you manage that?
You know what? This whole COVID thing, it's just crazy, and I think a lot of people could relate. It's something we haven't lived before, and we just gotta wake up and be like, okay, how am I gonna go through this day? At the beginning, it was a little bit scary. It's like, okay, I had deals, we can't leave the house. What do I do? But little by little, it got better. I think what helped me was staying in front of people, social media, like just posting stuff, hope you guys have a great day, like stuff like that. This is what I have going on. Just staying in front of people, I think has helped me be where I'm at today. And I was like, oh my God, where's this business coming from? Because I hear everybody say, like there's no work, there's no jobs, but it's been super busy. I have buyers, the sellers, they're just, calling, and I'm like, okay, let me work my time around this, and it's been a little hard. I'm not gonna lie, but I've made it work out, during this whole time, aside of work, my mom happened to get COVID, and she was hospitalized for a month. That wasn't very easy at all. During that time, I had my clients that I was dealing with, and I didn't want to let them down either. So, I mean, it was. I struggled. And emotionally, you're not there. Mentally, you're not there. But and the clients that I had understood very well. I think that's what helped. Since the beginning, I built a relationship where I have that confidence to let them know what's going on. So, but I mean, after that, it's just kept, busy. Not only my parents, the kids at home, doing schooling from home. I have the 2 boys, the baby, and it's like, it was crazy. But I think for me, the best thing was to just stay on like in front of people on social media, and let them know I'm still here, I'm alive, I'm still working, on my phone from wherever I'm at, but I'm here for everybody.
And that's a great example for many people out there that when you really want to get something done, you can get it done. With everything that was thrown your way in the last few months, you still managed to stay on top and be one of the top producers here in the office. You're doing amazingly well, so that's great. I know Maria she had a comment to make.
I did. I just wanted, it's a comment. Thank you, Tina. I say real quick before I forget and lose my train of thought. I'm totally into your story, Linda, but I wanted to tell you that I think you are just a beautiful person. I think that you have an amazing experience by you sharing everything that you've endured, and you're still caring and pushing through as a working mom, wife, and you're taking care of your parents and all the adversity coming to you right now. Like, what you've overcome says a lot about you. It says a lot about your heart, and Maria. And I know that I'm not always liking everything, and I'm not always connected, but when I do see it, it does bring a smile to my face, because I see how hard you're working and your results are there. No matter what, the results are there. They continue to be there, and you can see that fire. It's kind of like it's admirable, because we as women, we don't really notice how much we're doing, and actually creating and being there for our children, our families, our work, our friends. And that's why we're built the way we are, because we can carry a lot. And so I just wanted to say that to you as your friend, and I admire you, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Maria. I really, really appreciate that. You're gonna make me cry.
Good. My mom says
That was the point.
Yeah, tears are good control. And I always do that to Jennifer when she wants to tear up. I'm like, yay, I made her cry. It really does. It's a relief.
I'm not supposed to cry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's fine. But you don't have to on the show. We'll cry later together. But I just wanted to tell you that it's kind of funny because like we see ourselves in each other. And hearing you do everything that you're doing and there's another listing, there's another building, there's good Lord, how do you do it all? It's just really nice. So I just want to congratulate you on your success and your perseverance and ability to overcome all your difficulties and just adding to your school belt, girl. So keep on rocking it.
Thank you, Maria. I really appreciate that from you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. That's it. Thank you.
I just want to read a few of the comments here.
I have a comment about the horse.
Okay.
I want to ask a question about that. I heard you talk about that at the beginning.
About what? I missed it.
Your horses. About
the
your
horses.
Because you like horses, right?
Yes.
And you know what
Not only likes them, she loves them.
You love them. Okay. So, you know, the funny thing about horses, when you were talking about that, it brought me back to my childhood because I used to ride horses every day into the fields with my cousins, you know,
that's beautiful.
as a child. And the funny part about back then is they used to ride bareback with a rope around the horse's neck. So you were you were at the horse's mercy, and you had to bond with your horse.
You definitely do.
Horse, and I think that and maybe I don't know. Explain a little bit about that, because for me, pets and animals have added so much during this time in COVID. Like I've always loved animals. I've always, you know, had dogs and my little Riley. But I think they don't really understand the actual connection and what they bring to your life, because you're very busy. You know, we see the numbers. I see your numbers. You're highly productive. You're kicking butt as an agent. You're doing an amazing job, you know, your sales. But I think that connection or that part of your life, I'm sure it brings a lot to your life. Just remembering it for me is very, like, I remember my horse and I'm like, I wish I had that horse. He used to throw me off his back all the time. I had to take a fall.
And all you got to do is get back on it.
Yes. Get back on it and hope they don't roll over you, you know, or something like that. But
definitely,
like, how much does that? What type of part does that play in your life? I mean, do you do that
know
every day?
Now that you bring that up, it's a stress reliever. You know, I haven't been on a horse for a while. There was a year where I competed with my daughter that same year. We were on different teams and I was doing horse riding competition and so was she. But the connection with the horse, it's you bond with them. Like they sense you. They sense when you're scared, you sense when you're confident, they sense when, you know, you just have that connection with them. But just being on them, I used to be like, okay, let me go saddle the horse. I'm gonna go to the riverbed because it's just around the corner from the house, go on a ride. But just going on that ride, like you forget about everything. You know, you don't have, you know, forget about work, you forget about, you know, your issues that you have going on, whatever was driving you crazy that day. So it's just a stress reliever. Like you just leave it all out there. And I haven't been on a horse for a while now since I had the baby. But lately it's been like, I need to get on a horse. I want to go riding. You know, we have horses at home, you know, so it's just the fact of saddling up and getting out there. But it's definitely stress relieving, even if you're not on the horse. When I go to these competitions or when, you know, we're sitting on the front of the TV watching these live competitions, it's just relaxing, you know, like you're in a different world. You don't think about anything else but that. I think it's just, I don't even know how to explain it. It's in you, you know, and you're able to distract yourself from the world and just focus on that. You know, it's a different feeling.
They, what you said right there, they sense you. And this goes for every living human being on this earth is they sense our energy. People sense our energy and animals sense our energy.
Yes.
But one time I wound up way deep in the woods because I was nervous. I was scared. I was giving out that energy to my horse. I got on the horse. He bolted, and my cousin had to chase after me for miles to stop the horse from.
Same thing.
That's scary.
Same
So,
thing, girl.
they sense your energy, and that just applies to everyday life. People sense energy and they sense what we're about.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, you don't think about it. You think, oh, animals, whatever, they don't have a connection, but really, there is a connection. It's like another human being, and it's like what you're saying, I relate,
Yes.
and they laugh at me because we're on a horse and what's wrong? Nothing. And you could see it and the horse is sensing it. And next thing you know, there's Linda on the floor.
You're like, I'm out of here. I want away from that person. Like I want them off my back. I want away. And it's just like, that just came up for me that's a huge lesson for all of us. What are we giving out there to people and to society?
Yeah, it's definitely true. There's a connection with, and I think it's any kind of animals, like whether it's a dog, whether it's a turtle, I think there's a lot of sense of comfort, being with whatever animal it is, especially during these times. We can't go with other people or get close to our loved ones, so I think a lot of people that have that connection with animals is something great for them, at least during these times.
So keep putting out that great energy because people can sense it, like
thank you, Jennifer.
And we want to go horseback riding with you soon.
Yes. We're gonna make it a date.
We want to go.
All right, we're at empowerment. Let's go.
Right, there you go. So a few comments here, Linda. Matthew earlier said he loves it. Ken, he said keep up the good work. Melissa, on top of many roles Linda has, she still manages to be an amazing friend.
Oh my God. They're all making me tear up today, guys. I'm a little emotional today. Melissa's a great friend. I love her. I sold her first house, and I've known her since, I want to say maybe elementary or middle school. Yes, I was able to get her into her home, and we've just been great friends since. I love her. Thank you, Melissa, if you're still watching.
And then we do have a question from Champions Heights. That's Aaliyah. What has brought you to your success you're at in the real estate industry? What has brought you to your success you're at in the real estate today?
I owe a lot of my success. I want to say to the people, first of all, people that have supported me all along. It hasn't been easy. You try to, you want to make others proud, and that kind of pushes, I think as a human being, that pushes us a little more when, people show you that, they're proud of you or they appreciate you or whatever it is. And as you get older, you start realizing like, it's important to make my parents proud, or it's important to make, my kids proud. But it's more important to make yourself proud. I think I can't rely on waiting for people to, applaud for me or say such great things like Maria said, and but along with that, it pushed me, like I could do this, okay, I need to prospect, I need to do whatever it is to do, like calling people. The connection that I create with people, I think has gotten me to where I'm at today. Not to mention the people behind it all, like my first broker, she gave me her hand, my lender that has been there all along when I didn't know anything, it's like, hey, how does this work? And I'm asking like loan questions, and I'm sure he's like, you're so nosy, but I feel like knowing all the background to the process, I could give my clients a better understanding of what they're going to go through, and it's like, you just have that connection with the client, with every single one, at a personal level and at a professional level. They become your friends for the most part, at least in my experience, and you just keep them. So that's how you get like the repeated business. They share your stuff on social media. You get more clients from there. they call you back, they need to sell their house or they need to buy a second property. How can we do it? I think it's just, the staying on top, staying in front of all of them constantly and still bringing out, what's the word I want to use? Bringing out other resources to them that may be helpful, not just in real estate. Do you need help with whatever it is? They'll call me like, do you know someone that rents tables for parties? And it's like, here's Linda, give me the number. It's totally random, but they have that confidence to reach out to me and ask me for stuff. And I think that still reminds them, like, oh wait, Linda does real estate, later down the line. So I think that's what has helped me to be
become their go-to person.
Exactly, their go-to person. And they call me for everything. Now a lot of people are friends, even laugh. They're like, okay, we need music for our party. Who can we call? And there's Linda sending the number. That's just random stuff. But yeah, to be there as a person, as a friend, and not just real estate is also something that, has helped me be where I'm at today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think you just answered Teresa's question as to what you do to prospect and generate business. Your friend replied that she loves you too.
Oh, thank you.
Lizette, I love this group of powerful, successful women. Thank you, Lizette.
Lizette, thank you.
And Ali, love your gossip. Well, this is not gossip, but
he's watching, so we're entertaining.
Right, exactly. So managing your kids' business and your second business, if you want to share a little bit about your second business. Okay, go ahead.
We have a second business. We have kids, the kids I bring along in the business. I don't know, a lot of you that follow me on social media will see me passing out flyers or, whatever it is, real estate related. They're doing my mail outs. I make them do it, guys. child labor. I'm like, come on, guys. If we get a call, you guys are gonna get $100. But they love it. My middle one says, I want to be a real estate agent when I get older. And sometimes, most of the time, he's like, can I go show houses with you? And it's like, okay, let's go. But then I learned that as he's getting older, he has a little too much input in the homes we're looking at with the clients. Like,
I gotta stay in the car.
Yeah, I say, don't say nothing until we get in the car. But he really likes it, and he amazes me, how he puts effort into or pays attention to what we're talking about or saying. He has questions about loans. He has questions about what happens, how do you move in? So that it helps,
there.
What happened?
Little entrepreneur there.
Yeah. I tell them, I tell my kids since they were little, I said, when you guys get older, you're going to be the boss. No one's going to be your boss. You're going to be the boss. Because we grow up thinking that our only way is a 9-to-5 job, and a lot of the times, if you don't have the education or if you don't know the right people, let's be honest, you're not going to get a job that's going to help you support yourself, especially now with how things are so, expensive and you can't afford it. And the kids asking for name brand stuff, that I'm like, no name brand. We're just going basic, but you got to, I think you need to teach your kids how to work, work for their things, teach them that there's not only, we're going to go to school our whole lives to, go work 9-to-5 for the rest of your life, because I think everybody deserves freedom. That's my thing. That's why I was in the business at the beginning, and I want the same for them. And I want them to have multiple sources of income, not just one, because later down the road, when one door closes, at least they know something else. I do encourage them to go to college. I do encourage them to get an education. But ultimately, I tell them, like, find something that's going to generate you money, something that's not going to leave you, stranded later or unemployed, and now what am I gonna do? Always leave doors open and learn and keep your mind open to learning. So all the kids right now are making their own money. My daughter opened her own little Instagram shop, for jewelry and stuff, and it's working out for her. And now she has some other little goals going on, and I'm like, good, I'm proud of you, you're finally listening. You don't have to be stuck. So yeah, so I do the real estate, and my husband and we also run a packaging business. We're contracted with FedEx. Um, it's been crazy with, the pandemic. When everything started, we were like, well, now what are we going to do? We're self-employed. Nobody's going to help us. They're going to shut down, because when they said shut down, it's like everything's shut, like we have where's the money going to come from? Like, how are we going to support the kids? But it all went the opposite direction. Everybody was shipping out. And it was like, oh my God, I think I have to go deliver packages. And it's true, I support him in that business, and if I have to go deliver, I'll go deliver, like, we'll put on the uniform, let's go get it done, whatever needs to get done, because ultimately it's money coming into our house that's putting food on our table, so I'm not going to be like, oh no, I can't go. No, yeah, I'm here to help out. Trucks are broken down, we'll go to the mechanic. Here I go. I managed to make time for everything, especially, and also the FedEx. We rely a lot on each other, with our employees, whatnot, the trucks breaking down, we have new contracts to review with FedEx, stuff like that. Like, I have to jump in and help sort things out, so we get, what is needed to continue running our business. For the most part, he handles the drivers, our employees. But I also take role in organizing our stuff and, getting things needed to continue running the business. But yeah, it's a little chaotic, like I said. I'm all over the place all the time. You always see me on the phone, but everything's taken care of. It's a real estate call. I gotta go here. Okay, after that, I gotta go, check out the truck. I gotta go drop off money to the mechanic, whatever it is. But I enjoy it. I think that if I wouldn't have all that pressure on me, I wouldn't work right. Like, it's just in me, to get it done. And the kids are a little bit older, so with the boys, like, and school and stuff, they're in school till 3:00. I really don't have to worry about them, for now, only feeding them. But other than that, yeah, it works out for us. It works out for us great. It is a little crazy sometimes, but that doesn't stop me from thinking, what else can I do for other opportunities, other businesses that we could, start. And I think it's not only for ourselves, but I think once you open up other businesses, you're opening up job opportunities for other people. And, basically we're helping them, we're helping ourselves, and it's all, we do it for everybody, and it's nice that, we are busy during this pandemic, because none of our drivers, were left without a job. And right now with, Christmas season being here, same thing, everybody has a job, we're all good. So, and I love when we have opportunities to expand our business or create new business. That way we have more people on board that maybe need a job. We are open to it, to helping them out.
I want to ask you, because I know when we did our promo, you mentioned something to the effect that it was expected for you to be at home. And you were like, no, that's not who I am. That's not what a woman needs to do. So what gave you that drive to say, you know what? No, I'm not going to be a mother at home taking care of the family when I can also get into business? Because I think you also mentioned you were the first one out of your family to get out and get that done, right?
Correct. Yeah. It's always been something in me about business. My mom wasn't a businesswoman. My dad did his horse saddle stuff as a hobby, I could say. I mean, he got paid for it here and there, but we didn't see it as a business, But I remember when I was in elementary, I would rush home. Okay. I would rush home before all the kids started walking down my street. And I would go buy a 2-liter soda at the liquor store in the corner and buy foam cups and sell it to them for 50 cents a cup. Everybody that passed by.
Oh, there you go.
So
Your first
I made my money, and when I got a little bit older, we would go to like Tijuana and, let's bring the Mexican candy. There I am sitting down in front of, my apartment complex selling candy. And, or I would take it to school low key. And, I'm like, I have candy, guys, So,
Yeah.
and now I remember it. I think it's funny, but I'm like, maybe it was in me since I was a kid, Yeah, when I got older, I said, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live limited. I want to have more opportunities. My kids, when they were born, I had a 9 to 5 job, and you could only offer so much. You can't offer much. So I said I need something that gives me more income. Aside from the freedom. So I seen how my parents struggled when we were little. We had struggling moments. I'm not gonna lie. And we still do. I mean, yeah, we run a business, but there's ups and downs to everything. Sometimes, like I tell people, like it looks fine and dandy, but we have dips and big ones. And sometimes you just gotta climb out of them. Like you figure it out. It's gonna work out. I'm always very positive about that. It's gonna work out. We're gonna get this done. But when my kids were born, I'm like, I want to give them the opportunity. And I think a lot of people are going to relate with this, have them or let them do or experience things that we didn't get to do. Something as easy as eating out, like I mentioned earlier, we never had the opportunity to go to a restaurant, and when I realized that, I said, I want my kids to travel because there's not only Mexico. I love going to Mexico. There's beautiful places in Mexico, but there's more than that. There's beautiful places in the United States, across the country, like I wanted them to experience, different things that I never even dream of. I've been able to take them places that when I was a kid, to me, it was only a dream. We did the Disney cruise a few years ago, and it was like, I was there and I'm like, I can't believe this, like to me, that was something that was never going to be accomplished for me, and now that I'm older, it's like, okay, I've worked hard enough to give my kids an experience that I never in my life imagined I would be able to, experience with them, or myself. Yeah. So that's why I said, okay, I need to, do more. And I think that it's an addiction. The more you do it, it's like, I got to get more, it's got to be better. There's not
always gonna be better. Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, they expected for me to be home. I was, like I said, raised from a Mexican family that the woman stays home and we cook and we clean and we take care of our family. But I was also open-minded. I was like, no, I can make my own money too. I love to work. I love what I do. So they couldn't stop me from doing that, and going out there and getting things done. And right now, I think the way the economy, the society, everything, I think you need two incomes to make things work, and to live a decent life with your family, your kids, and you don't want to rely on other people. You want to have your own money, not to have to ask permission. Can I buy this? But I think other than, providing for my kids and giving them what they need, sometimes what they want, I think I still owe a lot to my parents. I think that's my big why. I can't help them with a 9 to 5 job, with a minimum paying job. I need money because I need to help them. They did so much for me, for us, when we were kids. I think they deserve a lot right now, and I'm not done. I have so much more to do for them, for my family, and it's scary, because time flies. And sometimes I sit here and I'm like, what have I done with my life? Like, I haven't done anything, I still have a lot to do, and my mom, when she was sick at the hospital, I was like, no, she can't go. I still have a lot to do for her, a lot to do for them, and then I was just day and night, praying, it wasn't a very easy situation, but I feel like I still owe them a lot, and a lot to be done. So that still pushes me, to get more done, and keep on succeeding, looking for more clients, because I know that if I continue working or prospecting or whatever it is, it's gonna come. So whenever I have the opportunity, I do whatever I can for them, and I don't see it as, I guess, I don't see it as something I have to do, but it's my obligation, as a daughter, to be there for my parents, because they were there for us our whole life, and I think I owe them that. And like I said, I'm not done providing for them. I'm not done giving them the experience, and yeah, they got to hang on there for a while still. So we still got a long ways to go.
That's beautiful, Linda. That's really beautiful. I know earlier you made a post and you said, and excuse me if I don't pronounce it right, Escaramuza?
Escaramuza.
Okay, what is that?
That's escaramuza is the women horse riding part
Ah,
of the
okay.
charreria. Yeah, so that's what it's called. It's called escaramuza.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's what my daughter
Let
does.
me ask her.
Yeah, that's
okay.
what my daughter does in competition.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you give a new entrepreneur or anyone looking out there that just sees your story and does not know how to get started?
Oh my God. First of all, I know it's scary. You know, it's scary, especially when we're used to working a job where we're going to get paid every other week. And I had this conversation with my friend Melissa, who commented a little while ago. It's definitely a scary moment. But if you don't jump into it, you don't know what's going to happen. You know, you're always going to stay with what if, you know, it could have been. And if you don't do it, you're not going to know. And guess what? If you jump into it, you're not going to have a choice but to continue and doing it. You know, you're going to probably struggle, but you're going to find a way. You know, you're going to find a way to make it work for, you know, for yourself, for your family. Definitely if it's only one person, you know, relying on the income, then start small, you know, keep your job, and then on the side, you know, just come do something that you like, something that you love, you know, that you're passionate about. Because if you do something you don't like, it's not going to work out for you. So my only thing I could say is jump on it, go for it, and don't look back, because it's going to work out for you no matter what.
Exactly. Those are the best words anybody can hear. You got to be able to love what you're doing in order for it to be successful. That's wonderful. Linda, I thank you so much for sharing your wonderful story. I don't know if any of the other sisters have a comment before we let you go. But your story is very inspiring, and I appreciate you sharing it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.
It is very inspiring, and we're looking forward to that horseback riding day. Ladies, we can bond with them, and we can have a nice day outdoors. I think that would be
lovely. Definitely. Thank you, ladies, for always being there. I appreciate you guys all.
And thank you for sharing over everybody. Thank you for sharing. We really appreciate it. Very inspiring. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. I appreciate you.
You're incredible.
Thank you.
Mom, wife,
thank you.
2 jobs. That's 4 jobs.
A lot of jobs.
And I forgot to say, I am definitely feeling the selfies lately, okay? So I said, okay, so I see the confidence and the new vibe coming out. So
yes.
I'm out there. I gotta put a face on, you know, and go out there.
Yes, you do.
This whole COVID
Now I have to stalk your page and see what you've been doing. Any selfies?
No, I mean, her smile is just so captivating.
It is.
Thank you, guys.
Whenever I look at your picture, I'm like, smile.
Thank you.
Okay. And really quick, before we do let you go, I just want to congratulate you on Champion of the Month.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We want to just thank our viewers out there for watching us once again. We hope that you could join us in a couple of weeks when we have Olivia join us on the couch. And if you can, please be sure to like our Red Couch Talk page if you have not done so, and follow our YouTube channel at TINAMARIE MORENO. Once again, we look forward to having you join us in a couple of weeks. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you.